Hello and welcome back to the Birdhouse Rules. I wanted to do a June wrap up and let you know everything that I read and enjoyed and give my ratings on the books that I read this month. So the first thing I read was The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I read this because it's on the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge, and so that's why I've been wanting to read this book. I actually really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. It's unique. It's a little murder mystery in the voice of a teenager that is neurodivergent. And I know a lot of people don't really care for this. Maybe they don't like the way it's written or different things, but I loved it. I loved the way that he thought about things and thought things through. I enjoyed seeing his perspective about things. And there are some trigger warnings in it, so I wouldn't say it's like a teenager novel. By no means. It's not young adult. It's not middle grade. It's definitely an adult novel because of the themes that are in it. So it starts out obviously with a death of a dog in the middle of the night, and he sees it, and then he's questioned by the police, and he decides that he is going to solve the murder of this dog, and he's going to write a novel about it. And I absolutely loved it. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Can't say enough good things about it. I think there is some language in it as well as some topics that not everybody's going to enjoy, so I would research it before you decide to read it, but I really enjoyed it. The next book I read was Fit God's Way. I did a vlog about that one, so I won't go into too much detail, but it was a 4-star read for me only because she doesn't use the King James Bible. Other than that, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will find it very helpful in my health and wellness journey moving forward. It was a great read, and I do recommend it. I just recommend reading your Bible alongside of it. So the next one is that I finished was Live and Yet Let Chai. I actually ended up reading the whole series in June, so you'll see this throughout. But it's a cozy mystery. It's a beachy theme, tea shop theme. It's super cute. The first one I gave 5 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. It's kind of like an unofficial buddy read for Hannah at the Teachers TBR, her comfy cozy book club on Discord, because everybody who read it really enjoyed it. So that one. Then the next one that I read was The Nanny Diaries. This one is also on the Rory Gilmore Reading Challenge, and I gave it 4 stars. Again, with this one, there's some content warnings, so I would look them up before you read it. I enjoyed it though. It's different. It's from the perspective of a nanny and the things that she goes through in her work for this rich couple and their child, and it's really good. It made me cry. There is some bad language in it, and again, there's some topics that people need to be aware of before they read it, but I enjoyed it. The next one I read is Death in St. Petersburg by Tasha Alexander. This is the Lady Emily series. This is like book 13 or something. I gave this one 5 stars. They're cozy mysteries, but they're set in the Victoria era, and so they're clean, but not everybody's going to enjoy them just because of the time frame that they're in, so they're not necessarily for everybody if you don't like historical books. But if you like them and you like cozy mysteries, they're really good. So, and I don't want to give too much detail about these because it might lightly spoil some for some other people. So the next one that I read is Aggie Morton, Mystery Queen, The Body Under the Piano by, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Martha Jocelyn? Martha Jocelyn? Yeah, I can't pronounce her name. Something Jocelyn. It was really good. 5 stars. It's a middle grade cozy mystery, Agatha Christie style, obviously by the name, and it's just excellent. If you like any of those things, you'll really like this book. The next one is Linda Ford's Mail Order Bride Mommy, and it gave it 4 stars. It was a NetGalley read for me. If you like, it's exactly what it says on the cover, and it's historical romance. It's kind of in the same vein as Love Comes Softly, so if you like that book, you'd probably like this one. It's just not quite as intense and emotional. He's caregiver to a child, him and his siblings. One of their friends passed away. They have charge of this child, and he needs a daughter, a mother for this daughter. So he orders a mail order bride, and so it's really good. It's Christian, faith based. It's I highly recommend it. It's really good if you like that sort of thing. The next one I read was also on the Rory Gilmore reading challenge, because I'm slowly trying to work through all those. It's Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I only gave it 3 stars because I started it, I think I started it last year, but I got bored with it. The first half of the book was so stinking boring. I sat it down actually for a while and then came back to it. Romantic suspense is what it says on the cover. Classic tale of romantic suspense. And I guess that could be true. To me, I said I was mostly bored. The story was okay, but I was bored throughout. So 3 stars. Next is Death Comes to Marlowe, and also The Queen of Poisons. Both of these are in the Marlowe Murder series by Robert Thorogood. They're both 4 stars for me. I really, really liked Death Comes to Marlowe and this series. I like the way he writes. And I feel like if you like the Thursday Murder Club, you'll kind of like these as well, because again, they're older characters who solve little mysteries in their town or whatever. So also set in England. They're just really good. The narrator was really good. I don't remember if there's language. I feel like there is some language, but it wasn't horrible, but I feel like there is some language in it. Next, I read a nonfiction, because I'm trying to read more nonfiction, and it was Tom Felton's Beyond the Wand. If you like those, I gave this 5 stars. If you like biographies, if you like the Harry Potter series, if you like Tom Felton, any of those things, he narrates the audiobook himself, and it was fantastic. It was really, really good. He done a really excellent job of reading it and putting character and putting himself, even though this is his story, but he did an excellent job of telling his story. So it was really fantastic. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If you like any of those things, I would highly recommend it. Next one was another NetGalley read. It was David Rosenfeld's Dog Day Afternoon. I've never read anything by this author, and I had never read, this is way down in the series, but I got it on NetGalley, and it has a dog on the cover, so why not? And I actually really liked it. It was a mystery along the lines of something like Law and Order, so if you like Law and Order, the TV show, you would probably enjoy this series. I feel like there is a bit of language in it. As a matter of fact, I'm positive that there is, but again, it's very much like Law and Order. I don't remember the synopsis. I'm just going through these because I read a lot of books in June. So, but again, if I give you the synopsis of this one, it might spoil it for the others, because this is way, way far down in the series. But I don't mind being spoiled for books. I think I've mentioned that before. It's not a big deal to me. If I really like a book, I'm going to go back and read it, and I will probably go back and read this series at some point, because I actually really enjoyed the book. I actually really like the Law and Order TV show. So the next book that I read is No Good Tea Goes Unpunished. Again, it was Live and Let Chai, book 2 by Bree Baker. 5 stars. Again, I really, really, really liked it. This one is a murder that happens like right after her friend gets married, and it's her groom that ends up murdered, and it's that investigation, and it's really good. These are so much fun. They get you from the get-go, and you're just wrapped up in them. So if you like cozy mysteries, I highly recommend this series. They're very summery. They're just fun. I really enjoy this this series. The next book I read was The Summer of Yes by Courtney Walsh. I've only read a couple of Courtney Walsh books, so I'm not like a diehard fan because I'm only getting started with her books. And I gave this one 5 stars. It was fantastic. I'm sure you've seen several people talk about it. I know book lover Amanda just read it, and it was in her most recent vlog. And it is just so powerful. It's clean. I don't remember there being any language. If there is, it's very minimal because I don't remember any. So it's very clean, and it's just so sweet. And it's very much a, there is a little bit of romance in it, but that's not like the main thing. It's more women's fiction and learning how to say yes to things and not being so caught up in the routine of things or so driven in your career that you lose focus of what matters. So it's a top-notch book. Again, 5 stars, highly recommend it. The next one that I read was Tide and Punishment by Bree Baker. I gave it 4 stars. It's the Christmas theme. This is book 3 in that Bree Baker series. They're so much fun. I think in this one, the mayor ends up murdered, and he is murdered by, the murder weapon is a Christmas gnome. So it's so much fun. It's quirky, funny. I loved this entire series, obviously, because I read it all in June. I had to binge it. So the next one that I read was Falling for Your Best Friend's Twin by Emma St. Clair. Again, I had never read any books by Emma St. Clair, so I was just testing it out, but they're clean, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. She's a computer nerd, and I really enjoyed that. She does code, and she, just as it says, works for her best friend's twin, who is doing a startup company for some kind of app, and he is having issues with it, so he needs somebody of her expertise to come help him fix it. And it's just so cute. It's really adorable. And I will continue to read Emma St. Clair books. And I want to do this. I actually started a vlog coming out one of these days that is this series of books. So keep an eye out for that. The next one that I read is A Call for Kelp. I gave it 4 stars. It's also in Bree Baker's series. It's called A Seaside Cafe Mystery. That's the series name. But they are filming a movie about her aunts. And it's super cute. I just loved it. I just love this series. I can't sing enough praise about this series. If you love cozy mysteries, you like beach vibes, you like tea shop vibes, the South, I mean, just all of it. So the next one that I read is Uneasy Lies the Crown by Tasha Alexander. Again, it's in the Lady Emily mystery series. Again, it's a cozy mystery, Victorian. This one, I forget what number it is, 14, 15, 13, 14, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to spoil anything in previous books. But I really like them. Again, they're clean. And her husband works for the Crown. So I can tell you that much because you find that out in book 1. So he works for the Crown. It's very, very good. The next one that I read is Closely Harbored Secrets. Again, in the Seaside Cafe Mystery series. 4 stars. I just loved it. I binged it. This was not a plan of mine. I had no intention of picking this up until Hannah, her Comfy Cozy Book Club, we were talking about it. Somebody picked it up. It became an unofficial buddy thing. And I cannot buddy read because for this reason. Because if I fall in love with something and it's a series, I want to read the whole thing. And that's exactly what I did. So it was really good. I think that is book 4. That's book 4 in the series. The next one I read is a nonfiction. Ultra Processed People by Chris Van Tolkien, however you pronounce his name. I read this because I need to read more nonfiction, and I'm very interested in how food heals our bodies, and I'm trying to lose weight and all that kind of stuff, and cut out processed food. So this was very informational. It was very scientific. He had tons of research, tons of information. If you are all at all interested in that kind of thing, I highly recommend this book. 5 stars, if I didn't say that. The next one that I read, the next 2 are the last 2 in the Seaside Cafe mystery series, Partners in Lime and Pleading the Fish. Partners in Lime I gave 4 stars. Pleading the Fish I gave 5 stars. I just can't say enough good things about these books. If you like beachy themes, cozy mysteries, Southern tea, all of it, it's good. Highly recommend it. The next one I read was The Letter Tree by Rachel Fordham. I don't think I've read one other book by Rachel Fordham. This one was a 5-star for me, and I picked it up because maybe it was Oceana's review that I heard about. Read it, and they said that it was like You've Got Mail, and You've Got Mail is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's like the best. Seriously, one of my favorite movies. I rewatch it every fall. So I wanted to pick this up, and it's very much Romeo and Juliet meets You've Got Mail. It's clean, it's Christian, it's really, really good. 5 stars. Highly recommend it if you like any of those things. I had it on NetGalley, which is why I picked it up too. I also picked up, because of NetGalley, Pepper Basham's Loyally Luke. I also gave it 5 stars. This is the 3rd in the series, so if you haven't read the other 2 and don't like spoilers, read the other 2 first, because you will get spoiled for them other 2 books, which again, I don't mind. I'm going to go back and listen to the other 2. This was fantastic. Fantastic. I can't say enough good things. He's very much a cinnamon roll character, but he really doesn't like princess stuff. And so when he meets this princess that he doesn't know she's a princess, it's a whole thing. And it's so cute. It's so adorable. If you like princess things, if you like Scottish, English stuff, because this is a little island that's somewhere in that neighborhood, England, Scotland area. It's modern day fairy tale. He's such a cinnamon roll. She's quirky. There's so many like movie references, pop culture references, books. It's super cute. I absolutely loved it. The next one that I read was for the Pride and Prejudice readathon. Actually, all 3 of these I just mentioned were for the Pride and Prejudice readathon. The Letter Tree, Loyally Luke, and then Pride and Prejudice. This is the first time I've read Pride and Prejudice. I read it for, I said, the readathon that happened with Olivia and Rachel and Kendal's pages. I feel like there might be another one that I'm forgetting. I gave it 4 stars. So this is the first time I've read through it. I've been meaning to pick up Jane Austen for a long time. This was the last book that I read in June, actually. And so 4 stars is a pretty good ending. I had a really good reading month, but I gave it 4 stars because you really had to, I decided to pick this up on my Kindle and use the audio as well. And I found that really helpful. So if you're not used to the way that she writes, then I highly recommend reading it tandem. Read it physically and with the audio, or whichever way that you absorb information best, because she writes very uniquely and you have to pay attention. So I have only ever watched the movie. I have never read any of her other books, and I would have got very confused only listening to the audio, I think, because she writes so differently than the way that we write today. But it's very good. I absolutely loved her dad. He's probably my favorite character, actually, in the whole thing. That's everything that I read in the month of June. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I know it was a quick fire thing, and I didn't give any synopsis about any of these, but I read a lot in June. I think I had 25 books in total. I have read 25 books in total, so that was a lot to go through. And I as said before, I think most people have read several of these already, and some of them are very self-explanatory, or they're easy to find information about. You can look them up if you're interested in any of them. But that is all for now, and I thank you guys so much for being here and for watching and being as kind as you are to me just starting out on YouTube. Thanks so much. Have a good day.